Alright, well, gotta make this video quick before it gets like fucking like 100 shoutouts and shit, 100 likes and shit. So, fuck that. Here, you know. Alright, first of all, shout out to Ernie Fuentes. You know, you like the status, you know, swag. Shout out to Clarissa Ramirez. Shout out to Crystal Gutierrez. Shout out to Esmeralda. Shout out to Obey Baby Simos Aguilar. I seen that nigga around school, you know, he's cool, you know, he shuffles sick. Shout out to Judith Mendoza. Shout out to Obey Sophie, she's cool, you know, she's a cool friend. Shout out to A Nikki. Shout out to Zencia. Shout out to Julio Jimenez, you know, that nigga's sick, you know, he's down to kick it whenever, you know, he don't give a fuck about no hoe, you know, you already know. Shout out to Alejandro Jimenez, you know, that nigga goes, you know, that's my nigga, Del High, you already know, don't give a fuck, you know, we fuck around in class. Shout out to Sonia Love. Shout out to Kid Dash, you know, I was there, Big vs. LA, you know, we get off. Shout out to Adi Rares. Shout out to Sunshine. You know, Stranger Danger. Shout out to Jody Carr, you know, she's my sister. You know, she's cool, you know. I still hate her. No, I'm just playing. Alright, shout out to Berlin Hernandez. Shout out to Tito Ortega, you know, that fool's cool, you know. He was there when I was like little and shit, you know. Shout out to Marisol Hernandez. Shout out to my nigga Devontae though. Hey, nigga gets off. Swag. Shout out to Daisy Flores. Shout out to Valeria. Shout out to Desiree. Shout out to Christian Santana, dog. Swag, you know, you got swag, keep it up. Shout out to Jay Twist. Shout out to Crystal. Shout out to Christopher. Shout out to Alena Lopez. You know, he hit me up today, so you know, you're not a stranger. Shout out to Isela. I sit next to her in class. Well, sometimes she does, you know, I mess around with her. She gets all mad. It's funny, but you know, it's cool though. It's cool. She's cool. Shout out to Andres Vivas. Shout out to Felicia. Shout out to Luis Angel. Shout out to Alexis Jimenez, you know, that fool's cool, that fool don't give a fuck, you know, just does his own thing. Shout out to Whitney Bolter, whatever you, I don't know who you are, you like my status, so fuck it, swag. Shout out to Sergio Mars Mendoza, seen him around school and stuff, he's cool, you know, he's cool. Shout out to Celeste. Shout out to Daisy Jimenez. She was cool, you know, I hang out with her. No, she's cool, you know. You know, she's becoming a stranger though. Shout out to Daniela. Shout out to Eddie Murillo. So, you know, that fool's cool, you know, that fool don't give a fuck. You know, he just kicks ass, you know, parties and shit. Shout out to Iris Gutierrez. Shout out to Luis Janet. Shout out to yeah, I don't know how to say your name. You gotta put your real name, you know, none of that Obey and fucking Ayo gay shit. Shout out to Myra. Shout out to Alexis Thompson. Shout out to Evelyn Mendoza. Shout out to Jojo Prasad, you know, that nigga's my nigga, you know, he's like my brother, you know, it was cool. We had our ups and downs. Shout out to Megan Brooke. Shout out to Keena Smith. Shout out to Chelsea Hampton. You know, she's hella funny. You know, she's in showing a fuck. She's cool. Shout out to Abel. Shout out to Jessica Puro. Shout out to Isabella. Shout out to Christian Cortez. You know, that nigga's a cool dancer. You know, he shuffles, jerks. That was hella cool. Shout out to Karina Pimentel. Shout out to Melissa Martin. Shout out to God, put your... I hate stupid names. And fuck, I don't think I'm gonna read all the rest. You know, if this video is like almost like 5 minutes and shit. And oh yeah, shout out to you if you're a hater. Hey! Alright, I'm out.